Do you guys want to know what I absolutely hate and cannot stand? On the other hand, something that I love to see and can watch all day, ASHTON IRWIN playing the drums.
I don't. I play instruments instead.
Dear men, please be more like ASHTON IRWIN, otherwise we don't want it. Hey guys, welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you've been here. Today, we are celebrating the release of ASHTON IRWIN's sophomore album, Blood on the Drums. This man, this guy right here, released his second album. What a time to be alive. So for anyone that lives under a rock, ASHTON IRWIN is drummer to one of my absolute favorite bands of all time, 5 Seconds of Summer. This man is so beyond fucking talented, so proud to stand an amazing fucking drummer, a vocalist, a dancer, just a multi-talented man overall. Not only is he talented in almost every aspect of his life, but on top of everything, he is fucking gorgeous. An absolute stunner of a man, like in every phase and era of his life so far. My favorite ASHTON eras would have to be red hair ASHTON, and black hair ASHTON.
Glad you didn't listen when the world was trying to slow me.
Although 2020 black hair ASHTON with glasses gives me slight chest pains, as he reminds me too much of somebody that traumatized me on a date while I ate ravioli. But anyways, the very last time that we were blessed with solo music from ASHTON was way back in 2020 when he dropped Super Bloom, an alt-rock psychedelic album. And it came at a time where I, as much as probably so many people in the world, desperately needed that escapism. There was a global pandemic at the time, which means that ASHTON was sadly not able to tour this album. However, we did get to hear some of the Super Bloom tracks live. So fucking grateful to have experienced ASHTON's very first solo show. He put on one hell of a show, and I got to hear some of my favorite Super Bloom tracks. Back in the day when Super Bloom dropped, I did an Instagram story review, and I did not get to do a video review like this. So I'm just gonna take the opportunity now to tell you guys what my favorite tracks on Super Bloom were. My top tracks were Greyhound, Drive, The Sweetness, I'm to Blame, Perfect Lie, and obviously Skinny Skinny. Now let it be known that when ASHTON sent us the poll on his broadcast channel on Instagram about which genre we want him to work on for the second album, I voted for metal, and you guys did not vote for metal. You guys paid that one dust. I love this album and I love what it came out to be, but next time that it's time for us to vote, can you guys please vote for metal this time? I'd really appreciate it. I'm not mad, I forgive you guys. I'm very happy with the genres that ASHTON chose for this album.
It's way more new wave, dance, goth. I love my 80s pop and my dark wave.
Blood on the Drums is flawless, exquisite. I am obsessed. I have nearly all of these songs playing non-stop inside my head on shuffle at random moments of the day. I really wanted to do this much earlier, obviously, like it's been a while since the album had dropped, but I just felt like I wanted to live through his first solo show and hear everything live before I were to give you guys my full thoughts. Now that I have lived that live show, I'm ready to talk about it. First things first, you guys know I am a huge 5 Sauce fan, and something that I've been wanting to do on my channel for a while now is I'd love to rank their entire discography on a tier list, and trust me, my list would be quite different from how the boys ranked it.
More songs. It's been so hard.
I know it's emotionally destroyed.
Might be controversial, might start a fight, but I'm here to be chaotic, so it would be a really long video. But if you guys would care or would want to see that, please let me know. Ashton delivered something exceptional, beautiful, masterful, and we might as well just dive in and talk about it track by track. Track number 1, Straight to Your Heart.
Here and now, we're different people. Here and now, we know what to do. You're like a hero, here in the dark.
Straight to Your Heart was the very first single produced by the legendary John Feldmann. You guys know how hard I vouch for John Feldmann. He has been responsible for so many of my favorite songs from early Five Sauce, Panic at the Disco, Avril Lavigne, and the list goes on. So glad that Ashton reached out to collaborate for this album. When explaining the concept of Straight to Your Heart, Ashton said,
It's about a love that didn't work out and you had to move on. You went your separate ways. When you meet again, you hope it will be different, but sometimes it never is. And you did your best to rekindle that love with that special person, but it wasn't meant to be. It's a bit of a bittersweet love song.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, but it goes fucking hard. Starts off with those haunted sounding keys, then the drums hit. Kind of has like this hopeful melody, but with these really sad and pleading lyrics on top of it. My favorite part of the whole song is the bridge, including the acoustic version.
Spin me round the room. Oh, how can I forget? You kill my loneliness. If I'm not with you, I'm better off dead.
It was the very first song that he came out to perform. I actually didn't lift my phone up to record. I just really wanted to live in that moment and consume that bridge and all its beauty and that beautiful ending. You hear his holy vocals, the sound of an angel, I swear.
Straight to your heart.
Track number 2, Breakup.
You came with the vision of the pretend. Let the power of seduction be your friend. I thought it would be clever to let them down.
Produced with the help from Matt Pauling, who has been involved with some of my all-time favorite Five Sauce songs. And you already know that him and Ashton are like an iconic, dynamic duo. They brought it to us with Super Bloom. The way I feel is just like these two are so meant to create music together. Put those two in the studio together and they are going to deliver. There's just something about Ashton's soft-spoken delivery on the song. It's almost like he's sweet talking you. First verse, like he's barely singing. It's pretty clear that he's speaking. I love you two came together, but you don't leave here with him. Period. You tell him. The song is about cheating and wanting the person that you want to break up with their significant other. This one is spicy and seductive. Sonically, I feel like it really matches the message of the song, giving very classic, acid, moody rock. That new wave sound, like late 70s to early 80s psychedelic rock. You hear that new wave influence very heavily, not just on this track, but throughout the entire album. Lyrics that I loved. Let the power of seduction be your friend. Sink your teeth into a night that never ends. Don't forget we're driving closer to the edge with every breath. Now the stars are getting closer, the rubber's wearing thin. I thought it would be clever to let the devil in. Now your hands are on my body, the chain that I'm wearing is taking care of business, hanging in between our lips. Ashton did explain in a tweet how this song is supposed to be like an imaginary scenario. If I'm honest, Breakup was written at a time where I really noticed, I was like, damn, everyone's cheating on everyone these days. Obviously sad, but obviously needed a nasty banger about an imaginary situation. Now, Five Sauce Twitter can be a really weird place sometimes, and I saw a lot of people picking and tearing apart this tweet and calling Ashton weird. for making this sound like a normal thing, but the reality of it all is cheating really is happening constantly. It happens to me, so I'm not really sure why everyone was so mad. Anyways, this is a banger, and hearing it live definitely made me appreciate it even more. Track number 3, Blood on the Drums. I don't know about y'all, but this one takes over my body. Like, it possesses me. Whenever we go from that pre-chorus into the chorus, I feel my soul levitating out of my body. Blood on the Drums is very literal. Ashton has said that there has been plenty of times that he has bled from playing the drums. He previously explained, "We test our willpower and exceed the limits of our potential constantly as human beings. Blood on the Drums has always been a metaphor for my love for what I do. No matter what, I always want to keep giving to my music and keep pushing myself as far as I can go, no matter what." The second verse for me is what's really addictive. The way that he progressively speeds it up.
Now I'm looking in the rear view, 105. I don't see nobody waving, screaming bye, bye, bye. Now I'm looking back, what a hell of a night. Now I'm woken from the dream and I'm feeling alive.
I love the song. Another one that I had to live in the moment for, so I didn't get my phone out to record it. What I really want to see is some merch with the visuals from the Blood on the Drums music video. Please, Ashton, make it happen. Just imagine how hot we would all look in that. Track number 4, I See the Angels.
Just another angel in the dark. Say if you love it, let it kill you. If it don't hurt, it doesn't thrill you. Never let them tear you apart. Let everybody is a hero. I've learned to fly.
John Feldman is back at it again. The lyrics for this one. Love all of the metaphors here. Let's give credit where it's due. There is another songwriter on this, Rachel West. So I see you, girly, holding it down with these lyrics. Turn off the light, look in the mirror. Do you see an angel? Not everybody is a hero. Not everybody gets a lucky number. Some people don't know how it feels. I love how whenever he asks, do you see an angel? The music slowly dies out. So all you hear is the drum hit in between. And then it all comes back for the chorus.
Do you see an angel? Do you see an angel? I've learned to fly.
Gorgeous song. It was such a good experience live. He was like all smiley for this one. Track number 5, Lose You.
'Cause I know that if I lose you, I lose the best that I have. If I lose you, I know it might not make it back. Lose you. If I lose you, I know it might not make it back.
I need all of the hopeless romantics to stand the fuck up right now, because this is our national anthem. This is the kind of song that you want your person to dedicate to you. It's so beautifully written to the point where like it brings me to tears. It's about how if you lose the person that you love, you're losing it all. It's like making that vow to keep what you have with that person, because you'll never find anything like it again. So you're not going to take any risks in ruining that. Melody for this one is insanely beautiful, especially that instrumental break. It is so fucking good. And I just can't forget the way that he danced to Our Side of the Crowd during the song, went straight into the drum solo. That was everything. Track number 6, Rebel at Heart.
So you know you are. Break apart the
train. When you're feeling the pain, you were running up. Anybody that you
And we are back with Matt Pauling. Love how unpredictable this song was, like at the first listen. You think it's going in one direction and then it surprises you and completely transitions into something new by the time that it gets to the chorus. You guys know I'm very big on transitions. Like I love how it keeps everything interesting. Sonic roller coaster. That instrumental during the bridge with Ashton showing off his vocals, not just his studio version, but he really went off during the live version as well. I love that small little guitar tease after every single line in the chorus. Also, this is the song during the show where Ashton noticed Luke and Callum in the left balcony supporting him. Track number 7, Last Night of My Life.
I throw my mask on the floor. Why am I here? Pretending to lie. All these people who stuck in the night. This could be the last night of my life. Who knows when it'll come, when the air will slip out my lungs. Right in my head, and I don't wanna skip to the end. This could be the last.
This one is dreamy and a lot slower than the previous tracks. I really appreciate the song and its message. I know music is subjective and open for interpretation, so the way that I perceive it may not be the way that Ashton perceives it when he or his other co-writers wrote it. I think the meaning will be different for everyone, but I know how I see it when I first heard it. It really took me back to when I was breaking up. I had thought about staying and forgiving, but what it really came down to was, what if this was the last night, month, year of my life, and here I am spending it with someone that would backstab me, lie to me, and do all these shady things behind my back. So it's like Ashton said, this could be the last night of my life. So why am I here pretending to like all of these people who stuck in a knife? You know, life is so short actually, and it goes by so fast. So I really don't think it's a good idea to spend any precious second of our time with people who are not able to value us and see our worth. You might as well spend it with people that actually care about you. I love the bass in the second verse.
For that long and final rest.
With again how the music dies out and then it comes back in with just the isolated cymbal and that singular chord echoing right after every single word of the line.
I throw my mask on the floor.
And my next favorite part is how he sings that pre-chorus differently with more passion towards the end of the song. And live, it's even better. Track number 8, Indestructible.
Your mind is in the garden, there's no heaven above. Don't you run, 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 run away. You're indestructible. The chemical fire.
Oh my god. I will never shut the fuck up about this one. So mad that Ashton paid it dust during the live show. Justice for Indestructible, because we deserve to hear it. We deserve to hear her live in all her glory. She's one of my favorites, and if she's not one of your favorites, then I think we need to get your hearing in check, because this one is a masterpiece all around. John Feldman, you fucking did that. Like, of course you did. Pretends to be shocked. I'm crazy about these lyrics, about this entire instrumental, all of its elements. This one would have rocked live. Like, this one would have had the Belasco like up in flames. Don't you run, run, run away, and then cue the explosive chorus with the guitar distortion. Bitch, just the stripped back vocals of Ashton doing the highest possible pitch.
Empty inside, the chemical fire, giving your life the edge of the knife every night. Yeah.
Then we go into that instrumental break. And it goes into glass breaking.
People don't ever believe it. Doesn't mean that you don't feel it. Looking up into the ceiling, trying but you barely dealing. You finally love the feeling.
Going back into those holy vocals once again.
'Cause now you're the lonely one.
Indestructible and Tomorrow Never Dies, my babies that I will love and protect with my entire life. And we want a music video for this. I did read in an interview that Ashton had said, everyone was like, this has to be the single. I think it's an amazing song. I love it. It's kind of hard rock, but it'll be an amazing song to perform live. So then why didn't you perform it? How can you say it would be an amazing song to perform live, but you didn't perform it? Okay, this is not... Next time he gets back on that stage and does not play Indestructible, Ashton, sweetie, we're gonna have to fucking throw it down. I can't have you disrespecting your best music. Like, no. So Indestructible ends the first half of the album, The Thorns, and then we move on to the second half, The Roses. Track number 9, The Canyon.
The fire on the mountain. He's a sad boy, don't be mad boy, 'cause you never had a dad boy, can't deny boy.
We love The Canyon.
I don't even know if like the fans I have will dig it that much, but I love that song. I love that song. That's what I want to listen to.
Very like to Rebel at Heart in the sense that it's not the same all the way through. It goes into different directions and transitions quite a few times, keeping us on edge. About The Canyon, Ashton had said, The Canyon was the first song I wrote for my album. I thought about my 20s a lot during the process, knowing how depressed I had become at times, feeling sad about the state of the world and losing hope for our future, and deeply questioning my relationship to my addictions and emptiness in regards to my upbringing and lack of a father figure. A horrible statistic I was astonished by when creating this song: 85% of people that end their lives are men. I began to further explore what everybody's personal canyon they pass through feels like. In simple terms, it's always the darkest before the dawn. Hold on, young man, the world needs you to live. We definitely feel how personal this song is, and especially during the bridge, like he goes there.
He's a sad boy, don't be mad boy, 'cause you never had a dad boy, can't deny boy. So you're high boy, gonna die boy, getting harder to deny boy, gonna die boy.
Especially what I'd experienced in my 20s, I got really sad towards my 30s, and I just turned 30. I really felt like I came out of like a darker place into a place of accepting more of a duality of my life. Like I need heavier feelings and heavier experiences to develop a more enlightened way of looking at life. Just accepting whatever happens to me, maybe that's what needs to happen to me. You come out the other end into the daylight again, and you look back, and those bad times didn't last forever, and now you have the wisdom and perception to overcome that again if it happens.
After the bridge goes crazy.
Rip the world apart, fire in your head, lonely in your heart. Rip the world apart, rip the world apart, fire in your head, lonely in your heart, your heart, your heart.
And then that transitions into like this soft, melancholic outro with these hopeful lyrics. It's gorgeous and it has such a satisfying ending.
My soul living, levitating, take me to the sky. Now I'm coming out of the dark. I'm coming out of the dark.
In the end, it talks about me meeting somebody that I really care about, which can be perceived as, you know, my real self or someone external, and coming out the other end.
Track number 10, California Holds Your Breath.
While you're hiding underneath your makeup, I still see you cry.
So I watched an interview where Ashton said that he took inspiration for this song from a conversation that he had with John Feldman.
Intensely beautiful but dark story John and I were sharing. John does a lot of service for AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and he had met a woman. He was sharing a story with me, and he used to say, like, every time I would see her, I didn't know if it was the last time I would see her, and I would hold my breath until I would see her again, because I didn't know if she'd do something crazy or fall off into addiction again, and we'd just never see her again. And he would pray and hope that she was going to be all right and she'd come back to a meeting or something and try, like, continue surviving. California isn't her name, but we just use California because she came out here from another state and tried to make something of herself. It's also about people that come to California to have, you know, better lives, from whether they're in oppressive households, if they're creatives in other states in America, or people are running from stuff.
Its lyrics are heavy and heartbreaking, written with so much compassion, and ew, I hate to quote Ethan Slater, but it's just handled
with such love and care.
That's Ashton playing acoustic guitar on the track. And what do I know? But I know that you guys agree that he sounds fucking good.
Everybody knows me as a drummer, but I've been attempting to get better at guitar for maybe 20 years. It's not been my most successful pursuit, but we're getting there.
I've just been so bad at guitar my whole life. I'm really not very prolific at guitar. Finally, 30 years old.
People that know me, they're like, dude, you're finally getting that guitar thing down. Yes, finally.
And I can play guitar in the studio, but in front of people, it's brutal. That song for me is like finally coming out of my cage a bit, like here's a bit of guitar.
Melodically, you know, I hadn't caught on. Even though it felt familiar to me, it wasn't until my friend Kim, shout out to Kim, for telling me otherwise, I'd be going crazy, still trying to figure it out. Kind of resembles Lie to Me, right? That part of the chorus. So it just made me appreciate the song even more. Definitely appreciated it even more after hearing it live and singing it back to Ashton. Track number 11, Little Spark. So we're continuing it with that smooth, slow it down type of vibe. Initially, I thought that Little Spark was written through the perspective of music and performing. I thought that his little spark was the passion and drive that he has for creating his art, but then the lyric that threw me off, I keep your photo on my wallet too, it's all I need to readjust my mood. So now I think it's actually about your lover, which makes sense as the lyric oxytocin keeps me going. I believe oxytocin is supposed to be like the love hormone, right? It's a cute song. I love the instrumental break. The guitar that you hear during Talking to the Mirror Until I Can See You Again, buried underneath. We can still hear it even though it sounds distant. That's the point, I think, supposed to mimic that longing and missing your person. Track number 12, Wicked Habit.
I'll give you all my money and my lifeblood too. Such a wicked habit. And now on repeat, round and round. California sunbeam, raining through me, reaching out for you. Such a wicked habit.
Okay, this is my song. I live and breathe for Wicked Habit. What kind of crack did they put in this one?
It started out as a drum and bass song because drum and bass was huge again, and every pop songwriter is out there going, how do we do some like drum and bass? For me, I was like, fuck it, I'll try to do some drum and bass. Eventually turned it into more of an emo pop song.
One of my absolute favorites. It's one of Ashton's best creations. I'm so happy that he chose to play this one live. If we didn't get to hear Indestructible, fine. At least he's giving Wicked Habit the love that he didn't give Indestructible. So at first, I thought that Wicked Habit was like about weed or just like any other drug. It's supposed to be metaphorical.
Addiction, codependency. The amount of like people I've met in my life, family or friends or anybody that are just in these really toxic relationship cycles, and I've been in them too. That could mess you up more than anything. Very, very real. It's a classic song concept. I'm addicted to you, not in a good way. Like, it fluctuates between good and bad in that, but it's a real one with that codependency thing.
I love singing
California sunbeam,
radiating through me. Reaching out for you. Tell me that you love me. I'll give you all my money and my life for it too. Ha.
Live for that drum solo at the end of the song. My entire body lit up at the show when Ashton was like, cannot wait to experience it live again. Track number 13, Marry You. Marry You is not for the weak. I know it hurts, but it's gonna happen someday. This is how we know that Ashton is done playing around. He's talking about marrying, and I don't recall ever hearing him specifically talk about marrying anyone until now. You can definitely hear like some Southern American influence here. Like it reminds me a lot of Latin American music. I want to say Brazilian just because I know that his girlfriend is from Brazil, which means that Ashton is learning to speak Portuguese. I don't want to say too much about Perola because I don't know anything about her. I just hope that she's not problematic, but I think she's gorgeous, and I think she's definitely more my type than any of Ashton's previous girlfriends. Like he has definitely upgraded so much.
Any regrets?
Been through some dodgy relationships here and there, but you know, do what you can do. A couple of those, but
And she seems to make Ashton really happy. Baby. For me. Wow, look at you. And he loves her cat.
Look at this guy. Oi! Yeah, they're gonna be nice to you, I promise. You be nice to him, alright? He's very precious. Look how beautiful.
She was also in the breakup video, which as a musician, that's kind of like you're getting a tattoo. That's an action that you just can't undo. So I feel like he's serious about her, and you can hear it in the song. Notice how he doesn't say, I want to marry you. He literally says, I'm gonna marry you. My favorite part is that second verse. Got a picture of the both of us hand in hand in Bogota. Te amo, yeah, I love you. We wouldn't get to hear him spitting in Spanish if not for Perola. So if he ends up popping that question anytime soon, we can't act like we're surprised. Like he literally told us. Track number 14, Glory Days.
You remember it? Sounded like a perfect story of the glory days.
Love Glory Days even more now, and I realized just how catchy that chorus is. Literally caught myself singing it out loud like randomly throughout moments of my day. That's how you know it's actually made its mark on me now. The lyrics are very heartfelt and nostalgic.
I talk about side stage, watching our support band for 100 days in a row on tour. I talk about, you know, we used to rent a minivan in Hollywood. Luke's mom would drive us around, the good old days, because I turned 30. So I was thinking about what kind of range and what kind of vocabulary do I want to start to build towards the early days of my career, and how do I want to vocally perform that. So Glory Days, I think on the record, from my personal point of view, was like one of the best vocal moments I have, an ode to early days with my band. It's just guitars, drums, and a keys hook with John Feldman and me just rocking out with the boys. Like that's really what a lot of it was. It was us just trying to find a really amazing kind of rock heartbeat for a song and going for it.
Track number 15, Wild Things.
I'll go where the wild things are, and I'll follow you into the light, into the dark.
So with this title, I really thought that it was gonna be like a hard one. Like I thought like the pace was gonna pick up, but I was surprised that this was another slow one with minimal production. It's really pretty. I can't help but think of the creatures from Where the Wild Things Are. Actually, it's been a really long time since I remember seeing that movie, but I feel like I really need to go back and watch it. When I hear this song, I'm actually reminded of when I told my ex the girls that he was messaging behind my back while we were together, they look like the beasts from Where the the wild things are. And I remember his face when I told him. Anyways, that's not what the song is about, but that's what I think of when I hear it. This is actually another cute song reassuring your lover you'll go wherever they're going, no matter how crazy or how hard it gets. My favorite is the bridge. Very Cancer of him. Another thing to note is the lyric, I know your thorns protect your roses. That's where the names from how he split this album in half came from. The thorns and the roses. Track number 16, Endless Wave. This is a Matt Pauling track, and it does have that atmospheric, psychedelic sound. It's like you're on a shroom trip. Instrumentally, the song is very soothing, and I feel this is the perfect track to be playing in the background when you're in the bedroom or in the car or on the couch, wherever you feel more comfortable. I just feel like this is the perfect tempo and rhythm for that. Like, I'm not the only one that hears that, right? Ashton's voice sounds like so distant here. The music here is more dominant, while his vocals, they sound more like a flashback. I love the depth that this song has. Like, it has so many layers. You hear so many different sounds. Like, at one point, I swear, like, I heard like a bird call. Love at the end when Ashton is holding on to that note, and then it ascends into what I think is guitar, and it sounds like the guitar is like weeping or whining. Fast forward to the ending, sounds like you're coming down from your trip and being sucked back into reality. I love how they were able to bring that sonically to life. You can't resist the change. You're surfing in this wave. I really do feel like it's about a hallucinogenic trip. Very into this one. My final thoughts on Ashton's sophomore album for the millionth time. The talent that this man is soaking in blows my mind. Every single time. Every single time I hear him sing, every time I see him on those drums. Something I really admire about Ashton Irwin is how much of his heart and soul that he puts into his work. Literally said, obviously I play all the drums on this record, but I also play guitars and bass too. I even learned how to play the mandolin. Coming from a rock background, that was a huge challenge for me. Learning how to play rockier guitar riffs instead of pounding my drums was a new one, but it was really important to the album and to me. I feel like it's made the album more personal as I've tried my hand at every possible instrument and thrown myself into the process of it more than ever before. Wow. The dedication, like the talent. I'd like to see your faith match that. And now there are two bodies of work that prove what a phenomenal songwriter and producer this man can be as well. I can't even begin to express how grateful I am and how grateful I'm sure all the Ashton girls are that he is creating as an individual, and we get to hear his art and his personal vision outside of the band. We could definitely hear that growth from Super Bloom to Blood on the Drums out of the solo projects that come out of this band. Ashton's music is my favorite because, you know, he's always been more influenced by heavier rock, and yes, Ashton can be a little pop star, he's proven that, but Ashton's a rock star first and foremost. Don't argue with me. Like, this man is born to give us rock shows. This album is special and it shows a whole nother level of vulnerability from him. I talk a lot about depression and building a thick skin because I want people to feel strong and empowered in their lives. It's something I want to feel too, which is why I'm so open about it within my lyrics. I want this record to give people that bit of hope if it's something they need.
It's not pleasant for me to say, yeah, I get really depressed. I share these things because I think other people appreciate that. I think it makes life a little less numb on the external. I'd rather people be in an audience listening to my music going, oh, I actually have family that have been through that, or I get this guy. It's not for pity, it's for strength. I'm in the connection world here. Like, I'm just trying to reach out and say, hey, here's what I got underneath. Do you see yourself in me?
Now, as far as Ashton doing a full tour, we'll have to see what happens in terms of taking it on the road, because we'll have to see what happens with the world. I think if there's enough traction, if people are actively listening to the album and want to hear it live, I would give it a shot. Stream the fuck out of this album, because I need to see this man live again. I really need to live through that again, and I want to do it right this time. So please go and stream Blood on the Drums. I think there's something here for everyone. So you're really depriving yourself of good music if you don't give it a chance. I love Ashton Irwin. You heard it here first. I can't wait to see what the rest of this year brings for him. Thank you so much for watching. All of my links will be in the description below. If you want to be friends, you can hit me up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please turn your bell notifications on so you don't miss any of my uploads. I appreciate you guys. Bye.